What's good, everyone? This is Algebra-1 with Mr. Peters. Today, we're going to be talking about how to simplify radicals. And just remember, when we're simplifying radical, guys, what we want to do is basically divide using the largest perfect square. And I've listed some of our square roots and our perfect squares over to the left-hand side. So when we look at radical 147, right? I know that 49 times 3 will give me that answer of 147. But how do we exactly simplify this? So after I find out the two factors, what I want to do is identify my perfect squares, right? And I know that 49 is a perfect square. Once we simplify this perfect square, 49 is going to turn into 7, right? And multiply by radical 3. See, radical 3 is a non-perfect square, so we're going to leave it under the radical. It's going to stay the same. And when we now express our final answer, we're going to have an answer of 7 radical 3, right? Used our largest perfect square, took its square root. All non-perfect squares are going to stay under the radical. Now, let's say we have another problem, such as 2 times radical 54. And we want to break this one down too, like the first one. So when I look at the factors, right, I'm not going to list all of them, but we have 2 times 27, and another one is 9 times 6. So if you look at all these factors, the only perfect square is 9. So we're going to want to use that one. So when I break this radical down now, I'm going to have 2 times radical 9 times radical 6, right? We've identified the largest perfect square that 54 is divisible by. Now, we're going to take the square root of our perfect square, right? So the square root of 9 is 3. So once we simplify, we're going to have 2 times 3 times radical 6, right? And the difference with this problem versus the first one, when the number comes out the radical, we're now going to multiply 2 and 3. So our final answer in this problem here would be 6 radical 6, right? But before we go, let's just take a look at one more problem just like the one we just did. So we have 5 times radical 150. So our first step, guys, we want to identify different factors, numbers that go into it. So I'll list about 1 or 2. We have 5 times 30 and 25 times 6. But if we really pay attention, there's only one perfect square here, which is 25. So I'm going to use 25 and 6, right? So now when I start to simplify, I'm going to have 5 times radical 25 times radical 6. And because 25 is a perfect square, we're going to simplify it and it's going to change to 5. So now when we're finishing up this problem, we'll have 5 times 5 times, and remember, radical 6 is not a perfect square. We can't break it down anymore, so it's going to stay the same. Times radical 6, and once we now finish up by simplifying this problem, we're going to have 25 radical 6. So when you're trying to simplify radicals, guys, don't forget the 3 very helpful tips that we have. 1, make sure you find the largest perfect square that the radical is divisible by. 2, after you find that perfect square, make sure you take its square root from out under the radical. And 3, all non-perfect squares are going to stay under the radical. Thank you guys for joining us today. This is Algebra 1 with Mr. Peters. If you found this video helpful, we're going to ask that you like it for us and to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.